So throughout the many seasons and movie of KonoSuba, we've seen plenty of laughs and hell, even a few shocking reveals. But at the end of the day, I think what they revealed in episode 7 of season 3 of KonoSuba might be the most important detail that we have ever been shown. And I think we all know what I'm talking about. And that is, of course, Darkness's abs, and her wanting to wear something cute like Megami's dress. And we, as a supportive fandom, should recommend that she do exactly that. For the goodness of this show, and for potentially the future of defeating Demon Kings, Darkness must wear those cute outfits, and we must learn more about her shredded abs. Now, jokes aside, what the hell was this episode? Veneer mentally torturing Darkness just to kill time, when he could have read her fortune and future right away, was brilliant. This isn't the first show that has lingered on a shot that I thought maybe my shit was frozen. You know, like I was like, oh, wait, did I hit pause? Like, you know, what's going on here? And the fact that not once, but twice, both Aqua and Cosma held on to that dumbass shot, making me question if shit was frozen. What is with anime wanting to do the Ava elevator hold scene so much, but I kind of love it. Let's make this a trend, man. This shit just is funny. But honestly, when I saw that bag of gold, the first one, I thought in 2 days it's gone. And then we get the week later, and then they get another bigger bag of gold, and I'm like, things are going a little too well. And all I knew walking into this episode was people was telling me that the next arc would be Darkness focused. And at this point, Darkness is my favorite KonoSuba character, and honestly, I'm excited to see what they do with her. Now, of course, I have full live reactions over on Patreon. If you want to see my full and kit thoughts to any of these wonderful KonoSuba episodes, it's going to be over there exclusively. This is one of those episodes where it's hard to even pick, like, where do you start talking? You know what? Let's just talk about Darkness. Because she was a bit of a roller coaster. A lot of funny moments, but also surprisingly hinting at some emotional stuff, too. So, it's funny. There's no other way to put it. And honestly, and it makes the scene of her holding up Megami's dress even funnier. The fact that Cosma and Aqua, after being rich D-bags, walk in to Darkness wrapped up in a rug, I assume is what it is. Megami's essentially putting ice all over, saying, you like that, Crusader? And they're just trying to leave them alone and saying, hey, what love is love, you guys go crazy. Megami didn't say anything in that moment. I would 100% believe that she was just helping Darkness because she's trying to increase her endurance. But the way she said nah. Megami can try to lie her way out of that scene as much as she wants, but it ain't gonna work with me, that's all I'm saying. Now, the thing about this episode is that Darkness, in my opinion, is the best character we have in this show right now. I think she is the funniest, I think she has the most emotion, and I honestly think without her, there would be no adult in the room. She may be the kinkiest one, objectively, but just because someone's kinky doesn't mean they can't be the adult. Look at the previous arc. Without Darkness, I mean, there would have been literally no adult in the room in terms of our main cast. But the idea that even after they have all this money, like, they could literally sit by at face value and just chill. Now, of course, Veneer says, don't just rely on that, go get other jobs and stuff. But the idea of a scene that easily could have been just mockery, like, hey, Darkness comes in, says, Cosmo, let's go hunt this big beast. Why would I do that? You have to give me something. And this starts off a little flirty and this and that. But the idea that it actually becomes like a sign of like, are you really not the man I think I know and you're not going to help me do this? The fact that KonoSuba's somehow able to every other second, and this isn't an exaggeration, they'll be cracking the craziest jokes and then switch to emotional and then back to, like, that whiplash isn't going to work for every anime. It's not. Like, we have to be honest. Like, that type of whiplash is insane. But KonoSuba Season 3 is a master at that back and forth. And I'm really excited to see what they're going to do because I don't know a lot of what's going to happen. I can only take what I can see at face value. That fat bastard, him looking at the painting, knowing it's a Darkness focus arc, there's going to be a lot. The initial play with that beast was that we're just going to blow it out of the water with Megami's explosion magic, which is perfectly acceptable. I still think it's acceptable, even with Aqua on top. She's a goddess, she'll live. She's probably been through worse. But the idea that basically, it's just like, what are they gonna do? The thing's in the water with 12 heads. Megami's explosion magic probably would take care of it, but now they're worried about hurting her. Darkness is probably gonna get her hands dirty, but it just ain't looking good. But just honestly, just seeing and you compare. Remember when Aqua and Cosmo were sleeping in that barn in season 1? And now look at them with arguably the most money they would need. Now, they're not good with their money. They would absolutely go bankrupt if they did nothing. But a smart person would be able to retire on that if they knew what they were doing and not going to restaurants acting like rich snobs. But that's them for you. But we all know that there's always going to be trouble. There's always going to be chaos. But the dynamic of the Central Four is so good with where it stands, because the thing that I really like about KonoSuba is that at the end of the day, they're assholes. They are. This is just a group of assholes. Darkness is like the least rude, like followed by Megami, because especially like Cosmo and Aqua are just the most D-bag energy, but they all have elements of just being horrible to each other. But it's something about how, because they're all kind of twisted in their own way, they just ended up building such a genuine friendship that it just kind of works. You never know in any given episode, or is like in this episode, Aqua and Cosmo got along the best out of any of them. But, you know, you rewind a couple episodes back, Aqua would have gladly pushed him into a crocodile's open mouth, because that's just how they are. It's such a good season. I think the direction with the animation, like, this is my favorite produced piece of KonoSuba media. The comedy and how they just go sometimes so simplified, but just that whiplash of the same 2 frames just to get like this over-the-top animation is just so good at what it's doing, you know? It's just, I'm loving what they're doing with this season of KonoSuba, and currently I wouldn't change a damn thing, like, if I'm being 100% honest. Like, this is just perfect. I thought the movie was perfect. I think season 3's perfect, and season 1 and 2, both very great and amazing at different points, but it just feels like we're in a different era of KonoSuba, and it's just only getting better from here. Like, I don't even know what I want to see for the remaining, 5 episodes of this season. All I know is that the relationships and the fact that you can walk in on Megami doing whatever the hell she was doing for quote-unquote endurance training with Darkness could be some of the funniest things in most anime, and that's, like, not even an appetizer of this episode. So funny, so good. Definitely interested to see what they're gonna do after this big fight, because obviously if we want to obey the premonition, we don't want to just sit on our ass. But honestly, I'll give Cosmo this. I didn't think he'd last 2 days with that money, and somehow he came out richer than where he started out this episode. But, you know, it ain't gonna work out for him forever. And that's kind of what, you know, it feels... Normally you'd feel bad rooting for the downfall of Cosmo, but that's kind of the whole point of the show, is that if they don't constantly trip on their face and fall, you don't get that nice roller coaster ride, and you're not going to enjoy it quite as much. So I look forward to his failures, and I look forward to his victories, and I look forward to whatever the hell's going to happen next, but it is canon. Darkness's abs. We need to continue to improve them so she can wear less armor and cuter clothes. That is the biggest takeaway from this episode. Let me know what you thought down below. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course ring that bell so you know if I would upload more, and like I mentioned, got those full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. Alrighty, so today we have Rian, Throdaxis 709, Mr. Yawk, and we also have Proof Space. So I appreciate the support, everyone, and please take care, have a good one.